Bitcoin's price has soared to $35,000, creating an absolute buzz all around the world. However, Bitcoin has just ran directly into a huge brick wall. Take a look. We are right here on the RSI on the weekly. That same brick wall that we faced in 2019. The same brick wall that we faced right here in 2020. The same brick wall that we faced right here in 2021. The same brick wall that we faced earlier this year in April. What is Bitcoin going to do this time with this brick wall? In today's video, I'm going to unveil what Bitcoin is planning to do next with this brick wall. And we're going to break it down based on the facts in the charts. Welcome in if you're new. My name is Steve. On this channel, we take no paid ads, no paid sponsorships, no paid affiliate links down below, but we do talk about the cold, hard facts in the charts that actually help you. So hit that subscribe button right now, and let's jump into the video. We got a lot to cover in today's video. We're going to cover this chart, which is Bitcoin's brick wall. We're going to be covering this chart, which illustrates another brick wall that Bitcoin is facing here. We're going to cover this chart with the momentum that's happening on the 2-week chart. We're going to cover the momentum happening on the monthly chart and the problems that Bitcoin faces there. We're also going to cover the double dip that Bitcoin has entered for the first time since 2019, illustrated with the wave trend. We're also going to discuss this breakthrough here, and we're going to follow it up with what Bitcoin is about to do next. Let's start right here. Bitcoin weekly chart. What we have in front of us is the Bitcoin US dollar index. We have the RSI at the bottom of our screen, and at the top of our screen, we have price action with a very key indicator, which we'll get to in a moment. But we've got to start with the brick wall. As we've illustrated right here, where Bitcoin is right now in the weekly RSI, as we speak, is faced in front of a huge brick wall right in front of us. That same brick wall that Bitcoin has faced many times over the years. We've got to start back here in 2019 when Bitcoin was also in phase 1 of the bull. We were met with this brick wall and Bitcoin could not get through this wall. And this wall that was in front of us in 2019 actually pushed us all the way backwards and we fell back down to this green line. Bitcoin failed to break that brick wall. We retried right here in August of 2020. Bitcoin had gathered its momentum, faced this wall for the second time, the first time that year, and it failed again. And it finally broke through that wall in October of 2020, leading into the absolute parabolic run that ensued next. This is what happened the last time Bitcoin faced this brick wall when it was also in phase 1 of the bull. When we fast forward, we understand, okay, Bitcoin faced the same wall at its double top. The same wall that rejected Bitcoin back in phase 1 of the bull rejected Bitcoin at its double top. Not only did price double top, but we were faced with that same exact level that Bitcoin just couldn't get through. It didn't have the momentum, it didn't have the strength, and it didn't have the wherewithal how to break through this brick wall. That same brick wall was our detriment back in early days of phase 1. When we entered phase 1 of the bull, it caught everybody by surprise. And if you follow our channel, we predicted that 2023 would be the beginning of the bull run. We had that big rally from down here at 15K all the way up to 31K. Everybody got super excited. There was an absolute buzz all around the world, and everybody started to shout that Bitcoin was going to go to 40, 50, 60, 70K. We sat right here in this chair. We said it's not likely. Just based on the absolute phase 1 of the bull, every single phase 1 moved sideways. We moved sideways for 196 days after facing this brick wall. We moved sideways for almost 500 days in 2019 when we were faced with that brick wall. We moved sideways in 2016 for almost 200 days, and we moved sideways in 2012 for almost 200 days, all of which were in phase 1 of the bull. So when we look at it, When we rallied up here to this price, we were faced with that same brick wall, that same test that has battled Bitcoin, that has brutaled Bitcoin for years, and it's been Bitcoin's biggest nightmare. We're at it right now, as we speak, here on the weekly chart. However, this time, Bitcoin is rallying through this resistance zone that has been our resistance zone for 196 days. Bitcoin is trying to get into phase 2 of the bull, and it's close, but the brick wall is in front of us, and that is our true test to see what happens next. Let's break it down with the next chart. The next chart, we're also on the weekly chart. What we have in the middle of our screen is the RSI. This is the pattern that Bitcoin has been playing out for the whole calendar year, right? We had this double top reversal followed by a double bottom trend reversal to the upside. That had Bitcoin flying, right? This was our pivot high. And when we came crashing all the way back down to our base, the base that we had been forming all calendar year this year. When we fell down to our base, we rallied back up. But this time it was a failed rally, meaning this was our high and we failed to make a higher high, which reversed trend, right? We started to reverse trend and we broke down through and we could not hold our market structure. We broke through it, making another pivot lower low, confirming the downtrend. We were in this downtrend for about 6 months, and it took us all the way back here to our resistance zone, and we broke through. We talked about many weeks ago here in the channel when we had this stochastic RSI cross. This was a cross, again, that happens about every 6 months in Bitcoin, like clockwork. Every 6 months, we have the stochastic RSI cross on the weekly, which puts a lot of momentum into the market. When you hear the word stochastic RSI, I want you to think momentum. Every 6 months, we have this cross up, which injects momentum into the market, and those are the largest moves of that 6-month period, right? So we had that cross back on September 11th. We covered it here, and we said swing traders would be looking at one area and one area only. This pivot high, that was our previous pivot high. If we broke that, we reversed trend. That trend that we were in a downtrend for 6 months. We broke that pivot high, and here we are today with momentum still going up, with Bitcoin trying to get into phase 2 of the bull. It has not confirmed, but we're showing great signs. However, we're met with that same brick wall right in front of us as we're trying to get into phase 2 of the bull. One good thing for Bitcoin is not only did we have a cross on the weekly stochastic RSI, we covered it here on the channel that we had a stochastic RSI 2-week cross. Now, when you move up in time frames, the only thing I want you to know is that as we move up in time frames, those same signals become substantially more powerful. For example, if we're on the daily chart and we see a stochastic RSI cross, okay, it's relatively noteworthy. But if you see it on the weekly, oh, it's substantially stronger. And if you see it on the 2-week, it's even stronger. So we saw that cross on the 2-week happen on September 25th. Again, September 11th, 1 week, September 25th, 2 week. So not only do we have a good amount of momentum, we have a strong indication from the 2-week that there is substantially more momentum than we initially anticipated. What Bitcoin needs to get into phase 2 is simply momentum. Momentum is still heading up. This chart will confirm next week, and we will see what it prints next week. However, we do have a concern. On the monthly chart, we do not have momentum coming into the market. In fact, it's showing that we topped our momentum in July. One thing that could change it, and this chart prints at the end of the month, is simply the weekly and the 2-week has the potential to reverse this. Right now, we do not see a reversal because this chart hasn't printed yet. It's that simple. At the end of the month, we are going to see that 1 week and 2 week momentum, the momentum that we really saw flying into the market, that has the power to reverse this, and we will see then. But that same wall that we've seen has happened also in the wave trend. This is the wave trend at the bottom of your screen. Again, at the top of your screen, you've got price action. We'll revisit that in a moment. But the most important is this double dip, meaning when we are in a bear market, We are in this box below this white line, right? Case in point, 2015, bear market. Wave trend got rejected from this point at the white line and from this point at the white line again, all through the calendar year of 2015. This shows the bottom of the market. This shows the best time to buy. When we're above this white line, we're generally in the bull run, and we generally hold support at this white line through the bull run. Case in point, right here. Now, as you fast forward, you get to the bottom of the market in 2019, again, holding resistance at this white line. When we had our first double dip was this 2019 period, where we entered phase one of the bull and we actually plummeted all the way back down to our base, right? When we plummeted that back down to our base, we came below this white line and we actually got rejected from it again. Now, this white line is at about 21 on the weekly chart. So you can see Bitcoin's price topped here. We went sideways for about 500 days, and in the middle of that, we came all the way back down to retest our base, but the wave trend was right there to tell us, hey, that white line that's on the chart at about 21, man, you better put that on your chart and you better watch it like a hawk. It's really the distinct line that says what Bitcoin is going to do next. And right now, you can see where we're at, which we'll get to in a moment. But you look at this 2019, we double dipped down here, and then we went back above holding support in June of 2020. This was the start of phase two of the bull for Bitcoin. This was the beginning of a huge explosive move. We came out of that resistance area and we went sky high and we had our double top. When we had our double top, we had incredibly strong bearish divergence. Again, everybody was chanting 100K, 100K, 100K. It wasn't in the cards. What was in the cards was a double top, undeniable, with incredibly strong bearish divergence. When that broke, again, we plummeted all the way back down to where our current base was. When we did that, we fell below this white line again. When we did that, we came above this white line at the beginning of phase one of the bull, just like we've done in the past. Every phase one of the bull, boom, comes right above. Phase one of the bull, boom, above this white line. 2023, phase one of the bull, boom, above this white line. We came back down to hold support back in June of this year when price was roughly 25K. So back in June, we had this plummet from 31 to 25. People freaked out, but we held support at this white line. We covered it here in this channel. Hey, no problem. We bounced back up, but again, this bounce back up was not a higher high in the wave trend. It was a lower high, showing weakness in the market, and we plummeted back through, creating the first double dip since 2019. This was a concern because we were holding resistance from this white line. And if you look closely, where are we at right now? Still resistance from this white line. We're in the midst of confirming this. Again, this chart will print next week. We have our green line starting to peak above, but our dots are still below, and we're still in the early days, right? We're going to see next week if we start to see some resistance from this white line, similarly to what we saw at this point, this breaking point right here in February of 2020. The wave trend is going to be critical for this brick wall that Bitcoin faces. As we proceed to the next chart, we're looking at, okay, Bitcoin has just recently broken out of a 10-month downtrend in the RSI. The RSI, we're on the 2-day chart, Bitcoin US dollar index. We're looking at the middle of the screen and we're seeing very, very clearly. January, pivot high, another lower high in March, another lower high in April, another lower high in June, another lower high in September, another lower high in October in our first breakthrough. We covered it here in the channel and we broke through at about October 18th, October 19th. Anytime you're looking at a chart and you find anything similar to this, where it's a multi-month downtrend, you have a clear trend line with multiple touch points, at least 3, and a breakthrough, that means huge momentum and a shift in the trend. We were in a downtrend all year, undeniable, and we just broke through. Again, on this channel, we cover facts. That's why you have subscribed, and we're about to get to what is about to happen next for Bitcoin. But make sure you subscribe, put a thumbs up on this video, and let's get to what is about to happen next. We're at this point when Bitcoin is potentially entering phase 2, but we're faced with this brick wall. We have this breakthrough here. We have momentum on our side on the weekly chart. We have momentum on our side on the 2-week chart. We're trying to reverse trend on the monthly chart. We have this brick wall right here, clear as day, with the same brick wall that we faced back in 2019. What is going to happen for Bitcoin? It boils down to this chart that's going to print at the end of the month. In order for Bitcoin to be in phase 2 of the bull, 2 things need to be true. And we said it months and months ago. Rule number 1, Bitcoin has to have its red line above the orange line in the Traders Dynamic Index, right? We're on the Traders Dynamic Index. We're on the monthly chart, right? If you need the settings for the Traders Dynamic Index, these are the settings right here, okay? You can see the settings on your screen. When you have the red line above the orange line and it confirms at the end of the month, that's step 1. What we also need is the rank correlation index to have its red line above this green line, right? Case in point, look here. Red line above the green line, we're in phase 1 of the bull, we continue in the bull. We have point blank right here, 2019, red line above the green line, phase 1 of the bull, but we plummeted down and we retested our base. These are the clear, distinct rules. Again, we got our red line back above here, which was the start of phase 2 of the bull, and we stayed above. As soon as this red line crosses below the blue, the bull run is over. Case in point right here, red line crossing below the blue, bull run over, top of the market. Red line crossing below the blue here in April 2021, bull run is over. That's why we had our double top. There was no momentum into the market, right? So we need these 2 things to be true. Red line above the orange in the Traders Dynamic Index, and this red line above the green in the Rank Correlation Index. If you need the settings for the Rank Correlation Index, they're right here. Again, we are waiting for the end of the month to see what these 2 rules say. If these 2 follow the rules, we have officially entered phase 2 of the bull for Bitcoin. However, the same thing that we've said repeatedly is still true. If you look at this chart on the weekly pi cycle bottom indicator, what we've clearly done is we've had candles close below this red line. And again, if you just look at the facts without your emotional opinions, anytime that we've had any candles of the body close below this red line, it spelled trouble in the following months for Bitcoin. Case in point, 2012, below here, trouble. Case in point, 2016, not below the red line ever, no trouble. Case in point, 2019, we were below the red line here, it spelled trouble in the following months. And you can look at any bear market. As soon as the market tops, we go below this red line, and it's foreshadowing of what's to come in the months to come. Again, here, June 2021, candles below the red line, you saw what happened next. So we have this in the chart, which nobody wants to pay attention to because we just rallied to 35K, which feels exciting. But again, I would caution any human in the next handful of months to watch out for a 20 to 50% surprise correction that catches everybody off guard. We will not be caught off guard because the facts are here. We follow this rule. We made this rule a long time ago, and we follow it to the T. So could Bitcoin enter phase 2 of the bull, but we still have this problem? Absolutely. We're going to see at the end of the month if we have this red line confirm above and this red line not confirm above, we have inconclusive data. We need conclusive data. This is about to happen next for Bitcoin. This is the main test at the end of the month with these 2 rules. Hit that subscribe button. Throw a thumbs up. I'll see you right back here on the next video. Do you want less stress and more success in crypto? Click this video right now.